He always nails it on stage. 2009 X Factor winner Joe McElderry is here. He's going to be telling us what he's stolen from Kylie Minogue. What is it this time, Joe, man?
The gold hot pants. Sorry.
I don't know whether you're joking or not.
Exactly.
We will find out later. Now, my next guest is an X Factor champion who sold more than 2 million records and even duetted with George Michael. Well, now Joe McElderry has new music out. Before we catch up, let's take a look at his brand new banger. Joe! Now, as probably a lot of people know, you and I are mates, and I remember when you were talking about doing this. Tell everyone how it came about then, doing this single.
Well, I wrote the song, not via AI.
Good to point out.
Yes. I wrote it about 7 years ago, actually, and I was going on tour with another show that I was doing at the time, and I threw it into the set list really last minute and went out with the band. The band rehearsed it, like, within an afternoon, went and performed it that night. And it just had this kind of instant reaction from the audience every time we performed it, that people kind of felt like they knew it.
Yeah.
They do this, like, fist pump on the chorus, and it just created its own little life of its own. So over the years, people would say, please, will you release it? And at the beginning of this summer, I was like, you know what, it's time. It's time. I think the world's gone crazy. We need a bit of positivity, and we need to just celebrate people for who they are. And I feel like that song and the lyrics in that kind of explain all of that, of just being kind to people and celebrating people and accepting people for who they are without judgment. So I went back into the studio, rewrote some of the lyrics, changed the arrangement, and here we are.
Yeah, and this also explains the Kylie Minogue connection as well, this song, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Tell us about that.
I didn't steal the gold hot pants, unfortunately. as much as I would have loved to have worn them on tour, I would. The same guy who mixed Padam for Kylie.
Kylie's brilliant number.
Yeah, so just before I went back into the studio to do it, I've worked with him on my last 3 singles, I think it is. And he had a huge hit with Padam. So I was like, can you just sprinkle some of that on my song, please? And make it go viral on TikTok and everywhere around the world. But, yeah, Guy Massey, he worked on the single as well.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
The other thing that I love about you is, like me, you're really proud to be from the northeast of England, and you filmed the video on one of the beaches near us, didn't you?
Yeah, up in Northumberland.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to be absolutely torrential rain that day, and it was the forecast, and we had a full contingency to, like, hire a warehouse somewhere and move everything indoors. But we got up at 4:30, the sun came out, and it was like being on a beach in Australia. I was like, thank you so much, to the point where everybody was sunburnt. My poor Jordan, who works with me, who does, like, photographs and stuff for me, on the way home, he was beetroot red, and I was like, don't make a claim against me, because I don't want to be sued.
And you did it, and you took it even further, because you did a sea dip to celebrate, which you invited me along to, but I was like, get in the North Sea with Joe McElderry and a load of his mates. No, I'm going to pass.
Thanks, Steph. With the Dip Club, an Instagram community contacted us, and they said, we saw the music video and we do like a swim. I think they do it like 4 times a week, every week. And they said, we'd love to do like an alternative single launch of something different. And normally, you know, your single launches are like kind of, you stand on a press board and pose for a picture. And I thought, you know what, let's mix it up a little bit. So we played the song, everybody danced on the beach in Tynemouth, people were dressed up, they had ribbons, and then we ran in the freezing cold sea. And we were in there for about half an hour. I mean, I like cold water.
Yeah, you and I have been in that sea together before, haven't we?
But people were, like, coming up to us and be like, can we get a picture and everything? And I'm like, right, I'm going to get out now. I've had enough. It was great.
Yeah. Do you know, it's so fascinating, because I mentioned earlier that, you know, you won X Factor. How old were you when you won X Factor again?
18.
18, yeah. So how much has your life changed since then? Because, you know, you were thrown right into the world of fame, and constantly the newspapers were writing about you, and you had to grow up really quick, didn't you?
I did, and you also have to learn what I always say.
Look at you there.
Oh, God, that shows how much I've aged.
We all have.
And I think you have to learn about the industry. I think that's the hardest part, is not necessarily people knowing who you are, but trying to learn about the kind of highs and lows of the industry in front of everybody, because you don't get any time to learn that in private. So you're almost living your biggest successes and failures in front of everybody, also whilst trying to learn how to deal with that as an adult, or, well, as a child grown into an adult. So it's quite intense.
Yeah, and I guess the thing is, because I know this happened last time when you came onto the show before, then everyone was doing that comparison thing in the papers, and they were really mean, weren't they? Going on about how you look unrecognisable. I mean, I, thankfully, look nothing like my 18-year-old self, but that was mean, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean... And, you know, I always have to be careful how I answer this, because I don't want to say... Because I don't want to normalise it, because I think it's really wrong. But we all learn, when you're in the public eye, to kind of just accept it, and it's water off a duck's back. But the thing that I didn't enjoy about that was that they were putting a picture on of me as an 18-year-old and then putting a picture on as a 32-year-old grown man. And I was like, I don't want kids to read that and think that your body changing from 18 to 32 means that you're some, like... unrecognisable, like, you know, that's a bad thing. It's like, no, I've grown.
Body shaming, wasn't it?
It's body shaming through and through, but the way they word it is quite clever, and it's like, it's clickbait. But I just try to spin it and make it a kind of funny Instagram moment with a little kind of positive message in it, because I think young kids, like, have it so difficult now with social media, and I don't want my pictures to kind of add to that. Do you know what I mean?
It's hurtful, though, as well, isn't it?
It is hurtful, but I think... as I've gotten older, you just... like, nothing surprises me in this industry anymore. Yeah. So you're like, yeah, all right, OK, but that happened, yeah, and you kind of just move on. But that's why I think I'm always kind of... I like to say it's wrong, because it is wrong, but you learn in this industry to just be like, oh, it's water off a duck's back, next project, off you go. So, but I don't think it's right. Yeah.
Now, the other thing I'm obsessed about with you as your mate is trying to fix you up with someone.
You are.
So I'm literally like, whenever we come out, I'm like, do you like him over there? Do you want me to go?
But you don't care. You don't care. You literally will walk up to somebody, we'll be in a bar, and Steph will literally walk up to somebody and be like, excuse me, so do you like me, mate? And I'm like...
I know.
Whereas I try and do the, like, really subtle thing of, like, just smiling, you know. I admire that you could do that, because I don't have the balls to do that.
I think it's going to work, though. I'm convinced of it. I can just feel it. I feel my inner Cilla Black. Like,
it hasn't yet.
No, this is a good point. OK, my hip rate's not amazing. And I do this to all my friends. I'm terrible. I don't know.
You are very good at it, though.
Thank you.
You are very good at it. I'm just a bit awkward. And I hate dating as well. I find it really awkward.
Yeah, and also the other thing I want to ask you about, because I haven't seen you since, you're getting your teeth done, aren't you? What are you doing to them?
Yes, I've just got Invisalign.
Yeah.
So I've had it for about 6 weeks now, and so far so good.
Can you sing with it in then?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on tour at the minute, obviously.
Yeah.
And I've done the first 4 shows with them in. I rehearsed with them in. The dentist who was looking after us, Guy Demon, who was fantastic, he was like, you should try and keep them in while you do it. And it's so far so good. It's just a process to get used to them, but so far so good.
Yeah, good. So your voice hasn't changed.
No.
People coming to see you are not going to be like, what the hell is singing?
I mean,
now?
I don't sound like Celine Dion, unfortunately. I'd love to sound like Celine Dion.
Yeah. Oh, Joe, well, thank you for coming in for a chat. We'll have a night out soon, and I'll try and fix you up with someone. And Joe's new single, Love, is out now. Still to come, we're giving